Hello, Facebook Live. This is Mike George coming at you live from Crimson House. Oh goodness, it is a cold day out there. Now, mind you, I'm in the South, so what cold means might be different than what some of y'all consider to be cold. But, well, let's just have a gander at the weather, at the temperature outside. -3 outside, yes. And actually, it is supposed to be going down to -9 tonight. I gotta turn off that music, girl. It is too loud. Silence! Oh, it has hesitancy there. All right, so yes, it is a cold one out there, folks. Hopefully, y'all. I think it's pretty much cold everywhere in the country. I don't know if there's anywhere it's really not cold, except for maybe the West Coast, which is probably still on, only because it's still on fire, probably. But nonetheless, I am feeling very much in the holiday spirits. Well, as much as the holiday spirit you can be in for being all by your lonesome. But not, not really, but I have neighbors and friends and stuff in the area. I just don't have family in the area, and at least blood related family. But that's pretty typical for holidays for moi. Hell, like our family's always been scattered around, and yeah, shoot, feels like a long time since I've had a Christmas, with like a proper family Christmas where where you're annoyed as fuck by that crazy, by the crazy relatives that you forgot you had. No, I'm just messing. It's a good year. Right now I'm cooking. I'm kind of baking a storm here. Now, actually, you know what? I just realized. Technically, this counts as a Facebook Live After Dark edition. So, put the kids away and well, no, I'm not even in that mood. Damn it, I'm not even in that mood anymore. Like when I don't have the cameras rolling. So right now I'm making I'm baking some shit. Let's see what we're baking. We are baking some sweet potato, cranberry, and apple stuff. I don't really know what you call this. I just had a lot of sweet potato, cranberries, and apples, and lo and behold, there was a recipe for just those three exact things. So that was convenient. That must be shoot. I don't know if that's like a fall staple or more of a winter staple, but no, it's a staple, I guess, of somebody's. Not of me, but maybe if this all comes out good and well, then well, good and well is a redundant thing. I don't even know who says good and well. That's not even a thing. I guess well can mean the adjective form if you're meaning like healthy well. But, and which I guess in this case is actually pretty important. Given that we're in the, what are we in the second winter of COVID? And, well, by now all the weak ones have died off and we're just left with the ones with the COVID lungs. Which are pretty much smokers. And no, I'm just kidding. That's a bad joke to say. I know some of you guys might have lost loved ones in COVID, so I'm not that much of a douche, I promise. Oh goodness. Actually, it's funny. Like, I've been here in Louisiana for about 1.5 years now. God damn, didn't think I'd make it this long. No, but it's remarkable though how many people I've seen in Louisiana here. Maybe I don't know if this is a product of Louisiana or just a product of kind of where I'm at in my life, now that I'm 36 years old and shit, old, middle-aged, I guess some might call it. And also the fact that our U.S. life expectancy is going down. So I'm getting older, and the life expectancy in our country is going down. So, eventually we're going to hit a crossroads, and I'm just going to fucking die. Hopefully not soon. I have a lot more havoc to wreak upon this great nation of ours and this great earth of ours. But fortunately, not as much as y'all bitches have wreaked on this planet, through your... I won't even mention the car shit. I feel like that's always my big soapbox when I'm talking to you guys. But, or when I'm talking to anybody, really. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I've been just baking some shit. Just relaxing. Let's relax. I feel like I'm always walking around when I'm on Facebook Live. Let's just have a chill time. How about that? How about that, kids? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, et al. No, not Al Roker. That's my trans and queer friendly greeting. For any of those who didn't already pick up on that. that way we cover everybody except for Al Roker. And God damn it, Al Roker's got better things to do anyways, so we know that. And if he really wants to be involved, he can. He knows where I am. We gotta make him want it. That's all. We have to make him really want it. Yeah. Then again, he's a pretty passionate guy. It won't take that much effort on my part, I'm sure. But digressing a bit. Oh shit. Yeah, that's right. I did have a topic for this thing. Let's call it. Oh no, we did have a topic. What the fuck is? I have to look at my own. I have to look at my own title of this thing to even remember what it was. Oh yes, family and home. Oh God, I hate. Okay, so, God damn it, I hate the holidays sometimes. Or at least I have to teach myself to like it again. I think. And the reason I say that is just because it always felt, it's shit. I mean, throughout my whole life, it always felt like we were like the weird ones. And when I say we, I mean like me, my mom, and my dad. I'm an only child. My dad, my mom's family all lives overseas in Taiwan. Taiwan does still exist for now, so yay. And yay Joe Biden for like actually sticking up for Taiwan, when every time he's asked about it. Because like, God damn it, I feel like every other politician these days would like kind of waver on that question and be all like scared of China and worried that we're gonna like lose jobs or lose money to China. Fuck them. Thank you, Joe Biden. And I mean, you guys have heard me say thank you, Joe Biden, a lot, lately. And I'm not. Listen, I have nothing to gain out of being Joe Biden's friend. Okay, I mean, shoot. It's not like I got a cabinet. Well, I would love to. Oh shit, I would love to have a cabinet appointment. Oh, I'm a little late for that. Maybe in the second term, right? I would love to be the transportation secretary, but God damn it, we already have a gay in that one, don't we? So, we're doing good. The gays are doing good in terms of transportation representation. It's a tongue twister, isn't it? Should I end up bringing this down here? Face it. There we go, maybe. Yeah, actually, that kind of works. How about that? Oh, God damn it, I just remembered. I have some ice cream in the fridge that I forgot about. Or ice cream in the freezer. That's what these are called. The upper level of the refrigerator. Now, of course, I feel like... No, never mind. I was going to say logic tells me that the freezer should be in the bottom, but not really, I guess. I gotta try to think about that one. I'm too fucked up to do any major thermodynamics problems, or even to pronounce the word thermodynamics for that matter. But hey, we're gonna get through it. After all, it's Facebook After Dark. And I feel like it would not be Facebook After Dark without dark. So let's let me see if I can use my cheater phone to activate the lights. Since in this day and age, you need to find your phone in order to do anything with the lights. God damn it! I hate technology. Where the fuck is the other phone now? Phone! Here, boy, phone! Phone! No, really though, where are you? Oh! It's right here charging. God damn it. I fell for that one. Let's see if this one if this one even connects to the Google Home bullshit that I have controlling this house. Or allegedly controlling this house. Oh God, here's my old man moment where I try to do technology while I'm on that technology. Sometimes it gets a little messy, as longtime viewers of this show may recall. All right, come on, Google. Nope, no Google. I guess I didn't down. Oh no, wait, no, that's not it. God damn it! I can't even use the excuse on this old phone that the link I'm looking for is embedded somewhere in some other subfolder, because I don't think I did subfolders in this one. Oh, fudge. Well, oh no, it's right the fuck here. Jesus Christ. I put it right on the bottom bar just specifically so I would not lose it. And here I am fucking around with y'all. And not even in the cute way. Oh. Why? God damn it, Christina, why? Christina, why? What? Okay, so I'm hitting the home button and nothing... Ugh, I hate everything. I hate everything. No, I'm just kidding. I like you guys. Zero people watching this. It makes my job easier for hating people, right? All right, well. All right, let's get on with the topic here, I guess. Starting talking about family. Well, I was doing some reflection on Steubenville. I'm one of these nerds that's in like all of these Facebook groups devoting ourselves to our hometown, specifically the hometown of my hometown, and some of y'all's or Jens's hometown of Steubenville, the great Steubenville, Ohio, the hometown that we share. And one thing, it's easy to wax romantic and nostalgic about Steubenville, and I often do. Of course, it's easier to do that when you haven't been there in a long time, I notice. Whereas when you're there, it takes about 2 weeks or so to really start getting tired of the place again and kind of find yourself back and hating it again all over, just like I did when I was getting ready to graduate high school and get the fuck out. But, one thing I kind of cherish about Steubenville, and one thing I cherish now, I think, that I definitely did not before, is how they treated my mom. How y'all treated my mom, I should say. And I say that because, I've just been reflecting about my mom, and mind you, she's doing all right. I mean, Taiwan is safe for now, I think. China doesn't seem to want to, and to be fair, like, I don't think, it is, I really hope at least, it is my opinion that, Taiwan, oh my god, I just said Taiwan, Jesus fuck. It is my hope, and I think my logic that tells me that China is not going to wage the same type of warfare against Taiwan that Russia is doing to Ukraine now. I really want to hope that. I want to believe that. I hope that. And that is my belief. I think China's a bit more savvy. I think China also relies on international goodwill a lot more than Russia does. Russia could give a fuck. I mean, they're, as John McCain said, they're the gas station of the world. And everybody needs gas still for some fucking reason, despite all of the warnings pointing suggesting that we should do otherwise. Nonetheless, China's going to be more savvy about it, and I don't know what that's going to look like. I think in my worst nightmares, I've had, I thought about the whole nuclear war breaking out between major powers over Taiwan, but there is a part of me that, that kind of convinces myself that China has just as much to, they have just as much to care about thermonuclear war as we do, right? In fact, maybe even more so, since, Taiwan's a lot closer to them, and also they have a lot more people that would suffer the consequences of nuclear war, just by being a bigger, more populous country. Anyways, that was a little bit of a tangent, but I want to come back to mom a little bit, because one thing I really cherish about my hometown, one thing that I really feel, I guess I appreciated it back then, but I appreciate a lot more now, is how wonderfully my mom was treated by the people of Steubenville. And remember, Steubenville, Ohio is filled of, we were like the only Asian people there, maybe except for it's like us and then maybe like 2 other Asian families in that town. Not even, maybe 5, okay? If you include Wintersville. But my mom, I have to say, I've been kind of admiring my mom for little things that I think I failed to appreciate. And one thing I feel really bad about, and one thing I always feel kind of guilty about. I swear to God, every time I talk about it, I start crying, because I was a douchebag to my mom, man. I was kind of a little shit to her. And I say that specifically because, I don't know, I was blessed with I was blessed with good genetics from my mom and my dad. And, I think most of us hopefully feel that way about where we came from, where we come from. But I used to ridicule my mom a lot for being stupid, for not being intelligent, curious about the world. And, that was kind of my vibe with her when I was growing up. And I feel really shitty because I don't know how much of that was my own feeling. It was frustrating. It It was frustrating, and I say that because I say it was frustrating because as a kid, me and my dad would geek out on stuff. Like we'd play video games together. We would watch. My dad got me into sci-fi. We would watch Star Trek: The Next Generation together. We were just big, like we reveled in being big nerds together. In a way, my dad was like kind of like a big brother in regards of like growing up playing video games together. I mean, he actually introduced me to video games. I mean, my dad is the one who got the Atari system that kind of started the whole ball rolling, and then we got the Nintendo. Believe it or not, it was my dad who kind of introduced me to that, to the gateway drug of video games. And all of the unhealthy addictions and habits that go with that, especially nowadays. But my mom and I did not share as many of those types of things in common in terms of like hobbies, passions, and interests. I mean, really, my mom was very much an enigma to me. It was hard to have like special moments together, I guess. There weren't as many bonding moments. I mean, there were, but they weren't in the same way. They weren't the same as the ones that I had with me and my dad. And I mean, obviously as a kid, like that was a wall between us a little bit. And it was always frustrating. One of the big frustrations I always had, and I probably still have today, is trying to teach my mom how to use a computer. And I was passionate about computers when I was a kid. I went to Wells, back when Steubenville had its parental schools of choice, which were essentially like magnets, kind of like little magnet schools for its elementary schools. I went to Wells, from grades 2 to 5. And at the time, it was known as like a fine arts. And actually, now I think about it, this is quite progressive for a school back then. Its specialty was computers and fine arts. Like, goddamn, what a combination. And now I think about it, that really explains a lot about my own sort of passions. And I don't know about any other Wells kids out there. And of course, now it's Wells Academy. And, this is after they bulldozed, after they tore down the physical building that housed my old elementary school. And they kind of moved it into the unused part of the high school. Just kind of owing itself to just the shrinking demographic and population of Steubenville, Ohio. Nonetheless, I remember just, being passionate about computers. And mind you, this is back in the late, this is in the late 90s. Computers were still kind of first entering into the, into what's known as the PC market, personal computer. So we were kind of just first getting, people were start getting their first PCs for the first time. And, it wasn't very uncommon back then that a kid would never see a computer except for at school. And that's only if their school was lucky enough to have, to afford these things. Or have them just donated or whatever. But nonetheless, like my mom couldn't give a shit less about computers. In fact, she still probably can't. I mean, even though she uses them all the time and doesn't really realize it, I think. But that was always a big source of tension between me and her. And like the reason, because as a kid, I always wanted her to like learn. And I just think that's funny. That's ironic for like the kid to want to try to teach the parent how to do something, because that's something you don't hear about very often. It's, obviously it's usually the parents that pass down, that are believed to pass knowledge down to their kids. And it was frustrating, man. It was frustrating teaching my mom how to do anything. And that's not because of her. It's not because of stubbornness or anything. It's just because she literally had trouble. She was learning so much when she came here. I mean, my mom spoke English, but it wasn't her second language, obviously. Or it wasn't her first language, obviously. And I can't help but think like what it might have been like for her moving to the U.S. where nobody around her speaks her language, and she just had to like pick up English. Like, and mind you, she knew English a little bit when she lived in Taiwan. I don't really know how, but she learned enough English to kind of, I guess, impress my dad. And that's kind of how they met and where they met and everything. Oh, here's a picture. I love this picture of my mom. While we're doing my little tribute to mom, I love that picture of her. And I don't know why, but like the way I have it framed and everything, it kind of reminds me of like, I was telling her, it kind of reminds me of like those pictures of Mao in China, like where everybody has like the same picture of Mao, like just kind of like, Mao Zedong, like sort of just like, Yeah, it has a bad. We gotta turn the light on here. Well, then again, if we do, that kind of violates Facebook After Dark, doesn't it? Oh shit, you guys can see her. And I have a picture of this somewhere. I have that same picture of her, elsewhere in Facebook land. So, love that picture. That's actually, I think I've said this before, but that's her at the age of 36, which is the age I'm at now. Oh god, that's so weird. I know it's like, fuck, I know that's so weird. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, like my mom like came from Taiwan to the United States, didn't know very much English, or well, shoot. I mean, she picked it, she had to pick it up, and like I just compare that a lot with like with when I lived in Montreal, and like just failed so hard at picking up French. Now, mind you, those are two different situations. Montreal is a bilingual city, so it's easy to get lazy and like slip right back into English, and that's kind of part of the problem there of why I never really learned French adequately, at least adequately enough for Hydro-Quebec to hire me. And so yeah, that's something I never took enough time to really like admire my mom for, was how she adapted to this weird country of ours, and not only like did she adapt to like the United States just as a general notion, but Steubenville, Ohio, of all places. Like, I think often when immigrants come to the United States, they usually find like some cool city, some cool big sexy city to settle in, and then within that city they find a little diaspora of people, like of similar people. Like you see this everywhere all the time. Like in Columbus, for instance. I mean, Columbus has that whole like, has a whole diaspora of oh my gosh, blanking out now on the Eastern African peoples, Somalians, yeah, and like they all hang out. Like it's fascinating actually, just to kind of like look around your city, your respective city, and kind of just like, when you sort of discover like what, of course, New York City has pretty well known places like Chinatown, Koreatown, and then of course you have like then they have the gays, which, mind you, that's I can't really count the gays really, because that's a whole different. I mean, that's not like an ethnic or these aren't. I mean, the gays aren't people. Not for the most part. I wouldn't say are people that like. Well, actually, let me think about this for a second, because I guess a lot of gays had escaped smaller towns, perhaps that were dangerous places to live, I guess. And so, I mean, yeah, I guess they would have kind of a similar story to like our modern, what our immigrants went through. Mind you, they were kind of domestic. They're mostly domestic, sort of. Domestic in-house immigrants, I guess. Migrants, I should say. Migrating from a small town to a big city. Nonetheless, though, my mom did not have that. My mom lived in Steubenville, Ohio, and she, like I said, we were the only Asian people there. And man, like I really, when I look back, I remember like how lonely it must have been for her, not having other Chinese people to talk to, not having other Taiwanese people to talk to. Not having that sense of community around where she kind of based her identity. And like, damn it, my mom never like even talked about it. Like, it was never even something that as a kid I never picked up on. I definitely picked up on the fact that like my mom kind of did her own thing. She didn't have like a lot of friends, and she didn't hang out with all the other like women around town. She wasn't in any of those like women's posses. But she did have friends. Like she did like. She did make friends there, and she made like very few but very valued friends. There was I remember like Norma Jean, or goddamn it, Norma Jean. I keep wanting to say DeCarlo, but that's her maiden name. She's a lot of the DeCarlo family. Like our friend, we were friends with, and and then there were these Italian ladies like these on my street, and like. My mom learned how to make like legit, really legit, like tomato sauce, like pasta sauce, like the best pasta sauce you can imagine, like the pasta sauce you'd imagine from like a home, from Italy, from kind of like that Italian grandmother, like, hand crushing the tomatoes and making the sauce out of that shit, like that type of tomato sauce, like made with love. And my mom like just learned how. My mom made great Italian food. Like, I think it's sort of a testament to Steubenville, Ohio, that my mom made such amazing Italian food as a Taiwanese immigrant. And that just kind of goes to show how wonderful my hometown was at accepting my mother. And shit. I was not going to get teary-eyed at this, I promise you. But like, damn it, like I hear all the, it's easy to sort of like just kind of write off Steubenville, I think. It's, as a podunk town, as sort of like an ignorant whatever, whatever the fuck. But really, God damn it, they were full of some of the nicest, kindest people. At least as my mother was concerned, And I guess now when I look back on that, I cherish that, man. And like, it's especially the individuals that went out of their way to make my mom feel at home, Especially when like I wasn't. Especially when I as a kid kind of shunned my mother. Because as a kid I just wanted to be like everybody else. So that meant sort of pretending, well, I never would like, disavow my mother, but like, I don't know. I just remember feeling like the weirdo with the immigrant mom. And like, shit. That's unfortunate that I looked at her that way back then. But like, when I really look back on it now, obviously, I really appreciate her a lot more for, God damn it, she did stuff, she took risks and took leaps that I would never do at this time, And like, damn it, like she didn't have, maybe it's just that she didn't know any better. No, I doubt it, because that's kind of what I always used to assume. Damn it, like I admire that so much. Especially like, especially like at that age. It's not like she like learned English growing up. She learned English, like, at her in her middle ages, in her 30s and stuff, which I just find like remarkable. And I was reflecting on this because my mom has been in Taiwan, has lived in Taiwan since 2003. All right, she has not been to the States here since 2003. That was my junior year of high school. All right, and it amazes me. I think one of the most remarkable things about her is that her English is still so fucking perfect. Like, and I'm pretty sure, I must be the only person that she talks to in English at all anymore. And that's, that's on the phone for maybe like, I don't know, maybe once a week. Like, sometimes I've gone like months without talking to her. Sometimes I've gone years without talking to her on the phone. And yet, her English is perfect. She's able to understand my English, like this shit, like this blabbering, fast talking bullshit. Like, she's able to understand me. And damn it, like that's incredible, I think. And thank the fuck God also. Like, I'm thankful obviously for that, because I can't even imagine that would be terrible if I couldn't speak to my own mother. If we had that language barrier, I couldn't even imagine such a scenario. I guess I already feel kind of distant from like her, that side of the family, just because they don't speak that much English and I don't speak much Mandarin. But like, I don't think enough credit is given to my mother. Or at least I've never given enough credit to her for that. And I will, and damn it, I really love, like, I love everybody. Like, all of you out there who treated my mother with kindness, respect, and love, I love you guys. Like, because you guys really, and you know who you are. Really, like when I look back on that all, it really means a lot to me. Especially knowing how much of a shit son I was. But yeah, I just want to say that's kind of what I wanted to reflect on a bit, because my mom, like, is incredible. Like, just the journey she's been through, and just, the fact that she never even got a high school education until she moved to the States, and until like maybe like 5 to 8 years after she moved to the States. My mom like earned her GED at the same time that I was maybe like, I think maybe when I was finishing elementary school, like when I was 10 or something. And like, God damn it, I was so condescending to her. Like, I just remember thinking, like, my God, my mom only has a high school education. I just remember thinking as a kid that my mom was stupid, and I just like, I really regret that. And like, damn it, she's such a smart woman, and man, I do not give her enough credit for it. Anyways, But you guys did. Like, a lot of you guys really did. You guys saw something in my mom that I failed to see. And damn it, I really cherish, like, all the random women. Like, God damn it, you know who you are. Like, I'm just thinking of, like, Norma Jean and the God damn it, the Tiberios on my street. God damn it. And thank you to the Tiberios, too, because that explains why my mom made such killer tomato sauce. I have y'all to thank for that. And also why to toot my own horn, why I make some killer, pasta sauce as well. Well, shoot, I can't take, I don't know, maybe. I do. I make good spaghetti sauce. Almost as good as mom's. But, anyways, that had to be said, because I do not give enough praise to that woman, to my mother. And she put up with a lot of crap from me and my dad. My God, how lonely she must have felt at sometimes, like, in her shoes, like, in Steubenville, Ohio, as a Taiwanese immigrant. Like, fuck. But, shit, I'm sorry. I get really weird. I get weirdly emotional when talking about my mom. Thank God she's okay, too. Like, she's healthy and, like, everything's good on that account. Like, I'm thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that now, especially given the state of the world these days. And, that's a whole different subject. So, anyways, let's zoom out of that one for a second, shall we? But, I love you guys, and, like, I love my hometown, and, like, Steubenville, Ohio doesn't, while we're on the subject of things that don't get talked about enough in a positive light, Steubenville, Ohio, I think, deserves some credit, and they get some love some deep-seated love from me for that, for taking good care of my mother, for taking good care of her when it seems like when I imagine it must have felt very lonely for her, as an immigrant in America, and again, not in, like, the sexy places like New York City and San Francisco where all the other Asians were, or even Pittsburgh. But Steubenville, Ohio, like, it is quite remarkable, I think. Oh, God, I'm, like, a mess here. It is quite remarkable that my mom was made to feel so welcomed in a place like Steubenville, Ohio. And I think, like, places, like, the small towns like Steubenville don't get enough credit for that at all. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. Well, I think I'm going to zoom out of that emotional moment there and just take this second to check on how my little baked treat is coming. And no, by baked, I don't mean me this time. I mean this wonderful little concoction here. Okay, we're making a cranberry and sweet potato and apple thing in there. I should come up with a name for this. I mean, it's not like it's a unique dish. I mean, after all, I found a recipe online. But you know what? I'm gonna come up with a name for it anyways. Not now. But oh shit. It's Facebook After Dark. Time to start taking off some clothes. If nothing else, because it's hot as fuck in here. Because I got, like, the oven and all of the heat on and, like, everything on. Because let's look at the temperature out there. It is -3 out there. 3 below freezing. Which in Fahrenheit land, I believe, is 25. Not this 25 either. 25 Fahrenheit. Yes. Let's have a gander. Let's have a peek out the window here, shall we? At the wintry wonderland that I can't really see anything out there. Fuck, ain't worth it. Anyways, that's all I have to say about about family and home and so forth. At least for now. I have some other things to say that are more present day related, but that is for another Facebook Live. We gotta save some material up for the holidays after all, since I'm gonna be home a lot. All right. And on that note, I guess on the we're approaching Christmas. Still, I don't know why I'm saying that like a surprise, but yes, we are still approaching Christmas. And also my eviction date. Which is the thing that's giving me more anxiety than Christmas right now at the very moment, as you can imagine. So, yeah. Oh, goodness. So, yes, if you guys... actually, I guess while we're on the subject of Christmas, I know I'm not the only person who's going to be alone on Christmas. So if you got, some of you guys out there in Facebook land that have nowhere, don't have family nearby, and are, feeling like kind of lonely on the holidays. I know I often do. I'm gonna play a little shindig, like a virtual shindig and it's also gonna be my way to kind of herd some of you guys into the Crimson Rouge Studios ecosystem a little bit. So I'll be hosting a board game night on Sunday, which is Christmas Day. You guys are all invited. If you guys don't get an invitation directly from me, it's a public event, being that's a Crimson Rouge thing, I guess. But there will be information about it on the Crimson Rouge Studios Facebook page and website. So it's a board game night. Pretty hard to explain that one without sounding pretty redundant, I guess. So please check it out. And if you guys do have stuff going on, maybe still chime in. It's an open event, so please come out. And I guess more generally speaking, if there is anybody out there that's feeling alone and feeling like really kind of bummed out because they're alone on Christmas, you're not alone. Like, I kind of feel that same way too. And shit, I mean, I've felt alone here in Louisiana for quite